This is Big Business with Sarah, the podcast for entrepreneurs who want to continue building their business and understand you should never stop learning. Welcome to Big Business with Sarah, and for today I have something really special for you. One of my clients, Paulien Kluver, is joining me here in my living room or sitting room, dining room, actually table we're sitting in right now. And today is actually our graduation event. So it's August 30th at the moment, and the first round of the Mastermind coachees has finished, actually. And we're celebrating, and it's 1 hour before everyone is joining. Hopefully nobody is coming earlier. And we're going to have a chat because I asked my coachees if they wanted to do this interview with me for practice, but also for you to get to know my clients and also show you how proud I am of them. Paulien, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. And would you like to introduce yourself a little bit, or would you rather just have the interview and just say that through that people will get to know you?
No, I can give a short introduction.
Yes.
I'm a photographer, a videographer for companies and entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And I recently started pivoting into coaching photographers and creatives.
Yes.
And that's something I really wanted to do for a long time, and what I needed your help with.
Yes, yes. And that's such a nice introduction. Actually, it's perfect because we're going to touch up on all of those subjects as well. So you will know now, right now, listener, what we are going to talk about. So, Paulien, we have met each other, I think the first time, you have started in the 3-week intensive, and then you joined the first Big Business Mastermind, but then you also, I'm not sure, was it during the coaching that you came here in this house to take some pictures of me, some photographs?
I think that was after the 3-week intensive.
Yeah. So we already knew each other a little bit, and that's when you decided. Well, not because of the photo shoot. That was not the reason why I decided to join the Mastermind.
No.
And there's also a beautiful video coming up, by the way.
Yeah.
I still have to give you my feedback. I'm very sorry for being so slow on that, but we're working on it.
Let's finish it.
Let's do it. Yes, great. So you came here, and this is also, for me, this was also a moment for me to get to know you a little bit better. And I think we also spoke about it already in the 3-week intensive, but you have already pivoted in your career from, I think it's 7 years now that you're working as a photographer.
True. Yeah.
And I want to ask you actually, why did you choose to become a photographer, but maybe also give us a little glance of your career before you decided to pivot. So how did you start? What did you study?
That's a completely different story. What I studied. Mm-hmm. It's been quite a strange career path, I think, because after
I love strange career paths, by the way.
Because after high school, I went to law school and I studied law for a couple of years, but it was not my thing.
Why did you choose it to begin with? Do you remember?
Because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Yeah. And I thought, well, when I study law, I can do anything.
Yes.
But I didn't finish because it didn't make me happy, so to say. And at that time, I already worked in a company, in the office, administrative job.
Yes.
Administration. So I asked, well, can I please work here full time, because I'm quitting my studies and I want to figure out what I want to do. Mm-hmm. So I went from job to job to job, and it was all like administration, financial administration, because I was able to do that. I mean, I have the brains, I don't have the education for it, but I managed.
Yes.
But also it was not where what made me happy.
Yeah.
So that was quite a journey to find out what I wanted to do. And then I thought, well, as a kid, I loved photography. And
what do you mean? As a kid, you loved photography. Did you have a video or a photo camera, or how did you discover this?
I love taking pictures with the camera of my parents, and my mother noticed, and she said,
what kind of camera did they have?
I
Do
don't
you
know
remember?
I don't know what it's called. It's like prehistorical camera.
Not a digital camera.
No, I'm 44 years old.
just for the people, for the people to know. So it wasn't very easy.
No.
That's what I always think. So, if you're saying as a kid, I really liked photography. Okay, yes, but then you need a really good camera. Sorry, continue.
No, it was really a basic camera, but just I loved taking pictures of people and telling a story through image. Not that I was aware of that as a kid, but when I look back, I see it. Yeah. So my mother said, well, if you really like it, maybe you can do like a photography course, especially for children, and where you go in, we were just talking about the dark room. Now it sounds really shady, people, but dark room.
We looked it up.
Yeah. Dark room was the place where you develop and print your pictures.
Yeah. And it has to be dark. Because the film, else, if it would be light, you would see nothing.
No, and I absolutely loved it as a kid. Yes. And later on, when I was like 13 years old, I did video film course.
Wow!
But it never crossed my mind that I would actually make this a profession and earn my money with it.
Yeah.
So that's when I decided to go to law school. I completely forgot that I have so much passion for creative.
It's so interesting.
Side. Yeah.
It's so interesting. So you studied law, you job hopped, let's just say it like that, for a couple of years. And then all of a sudden you had this epiphany, or maybe you spoke to someone. What was for you the reason to actually go into photography full time?
The reason for me was I was looking back what I loved to do as a child. Thought, let's pick that up where I left things behind, and I started doing just a basic photography course again. And then my heart lit up. I thought, this is the path for me. I should develop in this way. So by the time I was already 25 years old. I applied for a photo academy here in Amsterdam, and I studied there. And
did you study full time?
No, not full time, part time. Yeah, I worked on the side.
So you were still working those jobs that you just spoke about, and you studied for a few years, or
I think 4.5 years. Yeah,
that's incredible. Really, I mean, that you're really following your dream, and you're saying that you have been, that you were 25. I think that's still very young, by the way, to make a little change.
Yeah, now looking back, I also think.
Yeah, it's so funny because I remember, totally different sidetrack here, but my mother's, when I was 24, she was saying, "You don't have a boyfriend yet. Why not?" And I was, why? I mean, I was also thinking, remember, it's really time. I need to do this right now and everything. Because when you're that young, you think that your life has to be decided yet. And it's actually so strange. Also because of the educational system, we're both from the Netherlands, where you have to choose so quickly, actually, whilst just having a basic education would be probably much better.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It is, actually. I think it's limiting a lot of people. And there's change coming, but it will take a while, I guess. So you studied 4.5 years, and then you decided, you know what, I'm ready. I'm gonna start my first business, because that was your first business 7 years ago, right?
So there was quite a couple of years between finishing Photo Academy and my exams, and starting my own business as a photographer. Yeah. Because after I finished my photography education, I was too afraid to take the leap to become an entrepreneur.
Yes.
I mean, I knew how to take pictures, and to make a good like photo story. I learned a lot in the photo academy, but I did not have any entrepreneurial skills.
That's not what you learned at the photo academy.
Not at all.
No.
No.
And that's such an important part, because I speak to so many creatives every day. Many of my friends are creatives, so that that happens. And I'm always so surprised that you don't learn anything about just even basic bookkeeping. Well, that's something that you knew, probably, bookkeeping and financial
that
admin.
was in my advantage.
Of course. But I mean, really, understanding the entrepreneurial mindset. How do you start? What are the 4 first steps you have to take to run a business? What does it entail, running a business? What does it mean? What are the risks? How does it work with taxes? Those really simple things.
None of that.
No.
And
you don't learn that. And I think it's the creatives that I am coaching, I'm helping them not with the creative process, because I don't want to be a part of that. And I mean, I would love to, but I won't. But being able to understand your business, work on your business, with conscious, with intention, and knowing what you have to do will make your creative output so much better. I'm super convinced with that.
Yeah, I totally agree, because how can you, I think when you have those entrepreneurial skills and the more experienced you get, the more the passion of your work comes to fruition. You know what I mean?
Yes, it's become much easier. Yeah, probably. Absolutely. It's also going to be much easier to talk about it, to explain what you're doing, why why you're choosing a certain kind of style or whatever. This goes for every creative profession, really.
Yeah.
I love that. So it took a little while to take that leap, and then you did. When did you find, yes, now I have to do it?
Well, after a couple of more years of job hopping, and in the meantime, also I became a mother of 2 beautiful daughters.
Yes.
I thought I was 37 years old, 36, 37, and I got laid off like from 2 jobs in 1 year.
Yes.
I thought, okay, apparently the universe is trying to tell me something. I'm not on the right path. So that's when I decided, okay, if I really want to go for it, really take that leap and become a full-time photographer, just not as a side job, but because I did do it as a side job, but it did not bring me a lot of joy.
No.
Was going nowhere. If I really wanted to do it, I have to do it now and take this seriously.
I love that. Yeah. I love that you listened to the universe, or that you if you're not into the universe, if you're listening, if you're kind of getting all those signs, because probably, and now, but maybe you didn't know back then, you were doing something that wasn't meant for you. So you weren't happy with it. And I think you believe that too, that happiness is so important in your business and life in general.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can't force it, but you can really work your way towards becoming more happy, right?
Yeah.
And that's when you took that jump. And so what were the first years of that business like for you? And I had another question for you, because you decided this year because I know that you've had coaching before, and I know that you've bought some courses also on photography, entrepreneurial coaching, right?
Or no, not on not
on
those
coaching, but you did get you had a photography coach help you in an online course.
No, the first thing I did when I decided to take that leap was Google for coach for creatives.
Yes.
And 2 people came up. I friended them on Facebook, as you did in those days, to see if I had a good feeling with them, good connection, and with whom I would like to work.
Yes,
because I needed help.
Yeah.
And with one one of those women. She coached me eventually. I think for 2 years, and I learned so much from her. And she, through her coaching, gave me so much confidence.
Yeah.
Made sure I get step by step out of my comfort zone, because I'm really attached to my comfort zone. We were just talking about it.
It was so funny. You were talking, you were saying, this interview is a little bit out of my comfort zone and I don't like it. I was saying, yes, I know. You don't like that. I'm sorry to put you through this, but I think you're doing great, by the way.
Please don't be sorry, because it's really good for me too. And I think for anyone to take those steps out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
Because you're only stretching and making your comfort zone bigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that you're saying that you're making your comfort zone bigger. I never thought of it that way, that analogy. Yes, of course you do. Yeah. So if you're listening to this and if you're thinking that you really like Paulien and her story and that she's being so open about it, please do send her a message. I will put her Instagram profile in the description of this episode.
Yeah,
so you
do.
can
I like that.
You can send her some kudos, because that's such a great encouragement, a great appreciation if you put yourself out there and that you get some feedback.
Yeah, and one of the reasons for me to do this interview was also like to set an example. If I can do it,
yes,
anyone can.
Yes. Well, I mean,
lots of people can.
Are already great, but I mean that's it, right? So I also believe that anyone can really change. So why did you start? Because you said you had coaching in the beginning of your business, and now you decided to jump in again with me, or at least not again with me, but you wanted to get some more coaching.
Yeah.
What was for you the reason to do so?
Well, I did a couple of online courses on coaching, learned a lot. So I got coached online, but in group coaching, I learned a lot from that. But I was looking for a more personal approach. And actually, I don't know if I can say that in this podcast, but I'm going to. I bought an online course last year.
Yes.
The BFE takeoff. So with your coach,
Amy. Yeah.
And I think in her stories on her Instagram, I saw you.
Yes.
And you were also taking that course.
Yes.
And I don't know why, but I felt like, okay, I should follow this girl.
Yes.
And
Yes, and that's how we met. And, and I was I'm always wondering who's following me, who is this person, and then we started to chat. And I think I think that was in November that you started following me, or October, and then
remember
March or April we started.
Okay.
We started working together. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's so nice, actually. Yes, I remember. So, what was for you I think it probably wasn't just because I was there, but it was also you wanted to have a more personal approach, and you saw that I offered that. That's it. But what was for you? Why did you want it to get a more personal approach? And what is something that you want to reach right now, or that you've already reached in the last couple of months?
Well, for me personally, what's important is that I have a coach who is supportive, but not only cheering me on, but also you already said it. You're sometimes a bit strict.
Yes,
but I like that. I think it's really good for me. So I really want to be encouraged in the right way.
Yes.
And I think you do a great job at that.
Thank you.
And it sounds cheesy, but I followed my intuition.
Yes.
In my choice for a new business coach.
Yeah. And we call it in Dutch. We call it. I was trying to translate it, but you said it was like a liefdevolle schop onder de kont.
Yeah, how a loving kick in the butt.
Yeah, well, maybe that's it.
Yeah,
so a little,
that's what I need.
Because I don't want to be. You have those tough love business coaches, and it's not for me because I've had too much tough love in my life. Also sweet, but also okay. You know what? Sometimes this is not the right direction, or this is maybe not what you should do, or maybe ask you a question, so that you are, discovering that, a different path for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you said, we talked about your coach or the coaching that you were receiving, but you're also pivoting your business right now. You already said it a little bit in the introduction.
Yeah.
You're pivoting your business right now. Did you already think of pivoting before we worked together?
Yeah.
Yes.
For years.
Yes. Yes, yeah. I remember, because this is a funny story, and I think I can share this also with our audience, or maybe you want to do it yourself, because you want to be a coach yourself, or you are already a coach yourself.
Already started.
You've already started.
Yeah.
You've already started with a couple of clients that you're helping, you're coaching them into. What do you offer for them?
I offer them business coaching for creatives.
Yes.
Because I am working as a photographer, so I am familiar with this work field, you know. So I think that's something of value I can offer my coachees.
Yes. And you know what I love as well, because we just spoke about this. After the Photo Academy, you didn't go for it. You didn't go for the business yet, because you didn't know which business tools you needed to actually, start it.
Yeah, tools and mindset. Yeah.
Tools and mindset, right. So you know exactly what the pains, because that's how we call it, the pains of your clients are, because you've been through it.
That's true, yeah.
That's probably that's such a valuable lesson, actually. That you shouldn't forget, that you have that experience and that you know how important it is. So currently you're coaching other people, and what would you say is your style? So we spoke a little bit about my style, but what is something that people could go to you for?
I think what we just talked about, coaching is really about asking good questions.
Yes.
To let your coachee find out things for themselves. That's a big part of it, I think.
Yes.
But in my style, I also I'd really like to actively think. How do I say this? Actively think with your business.
Yes, really help them.
Maybe them
create something new that they didn't know yet.
Make plans
with them.
For instance, I had a coachee who was, she's an artist. She was not happy with what she's doing right now, even though she thought, well, I'm an artist, I am painting, I am doing what I was educated for and what I love, but actually she didn't love it.
Yeah.
So it was for us to find out together, what is it what you don't love about what you're doing right now? Is it the clients? Is it the assignments you get? Is it the maybe your prices are too low? Well, it was a combination of different factors.
It always is.
Yeah. And so I really, I helped her to get clear on that. And from there we make a plan. So how would you like to do it differently, and how can you achieve that?
Yeah, that's so interesting, because I was just thinking, because this morning I was cooking, right, for you guys, because there's more people coming, and I was thinking, actually coaching is like really making a recipe for with your coachees. So, you have their personality, you have their skills, and then you're just mixing it up until something is perfect and really delicious. For them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm having these analogies.
Yeah, that's a good analogy, I think. Yeah.
Yes. Because that's it. Because it's always a little bit of everything. That's probably
true.
That's
and
probably
also,
not working.
every person is different. So what works for my one coachee does not work for the other coachee.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to go back a little bit, because you already wanted to coach. You already knew that, and we spoke about this before. And I hope it's okay that I'm talking about this right now.
Yeah, well, let's get it all out.
Let's get it out of the way.
Yeah.
So or maybe you want to tell this story yourself, but when we spoke about, you becoming a coach, and we were talking about, yes, then you have to, that's the thing, you need to have clients, right? So if it counts for every business. And then there was this, we spoke about one person, and I asked you, do you know if he wants it or needs it? And then what did...
Yeah, I know. I'm a bit ashamed to say, or not ashamed.
No, but it's inspiring for other people to hear it, I guess.
Yeah, because sometimes you have an opportunity right in front of you and you don't take it,
Yeah.
The case was this friend of mine, or friend, we were classmates. He approached me a couple of years ago that he wanted to become a photographer. And he wanted to know from me how I approach things, how I build my business as it is today. And he also asked me back in the days, would you like to coach me? And what did I do? I thought, no, I really want to, but I'm not ready for it. Yes. I didn't feel ready for it.
No,
Maybe I wasn't.
That's fine.
Yeah. And I sent him to my coach. So he took like a year program with her. And I'm still in contact with this friend. And I was a bit hesitant to ask him can I do anything for you in the meaning of, can I coach you? Would you still be interested? And he said, yes, I'd love to.
Yes.
So that was my first coachee.
I love it.
And he's doing great. I'm so proud of him.
And you're still coaching him?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I think, and you were just talking about how successful he is right now, that he's attracting so many great clients. And I mean, that's such an incredible thing. And what you're saying is sometimes it's really right before you and you just have to see it. Because sometimes, for instance, one thing that I'm always very, very, what I don't want to, but what I do is that I'm always very focused on likes and followers and response and everything, whilst it's not about that. It's really about the people that you can help directly and, and really actually change their business. That's one. And maybe is also change their lives. That's it.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. But also don't stare too much at the likes and followers.
No.
I think because there are a lot of lurkers.
Yeah, that's true.
That I think you are helping people you don't even know you are helping.
Yeah. No, I'm noticing that too.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden I'm getting a message, like a really long message, with someone's life story and, the question to help them, whilst I didn't even see it. So yes, this is normal. This happens all the time, people. Yep. Let's talk about last summer. I mean, it's still summer right now, but about your idea, or maybe how should we call it? You were talking about, because we were in touch, and we still are in touch through Voxer daily.
Yeah.
And that's where, my coachees, and you are one of my coachees, are talking about also daily stuff and everything. And there was one point in this summer that was a little bit, was standing out to me, was that you have two lovely, lovely children. And of course they were free for
6 weeks.
6 weeks, right. So they were free
for
for
6 weeks.
and there was also a redo of your garden. And that's something that your boyfriend did.
Together also, with some help. Yeah,
with some help.
But he took a week off to help
to work on that.
Yeah.
And something that happens then was that it was very difficult. So you went on holiday for a couple of weeks and it was all lovely and everything. But when you got back, it was difficult for you to get back into the business mojo, because you wanted to also, but you wanted to take care of your children, but you also wanted to take care of your business.
Yeah. That's a recurring problem.
Yeah.
Every year. And I thought I tackled this, but it was also now with the redo of the garden. It was a much bigger project than I
Yes,
thought
exactly. Yeah.
had a lot of impact also on my children.
Mm.
But then I think too lightly about it. I think, oh well, I can manage. I'll just work from home, and like I'm making this online coaching program now
Yes.
for creatives. I thought, well, I can just work and no problem. But that's not that's not really what happened. No, I came out after 6 weeks quite frustrated.
Yes.
And it feels like you're in a I think you will know the English word spagaat.
Split? I don't
In a
I
split.
don't know. Split.
Yeah. Split between family life
Yes.
and business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's it. And so we spoke about this a lot, and not just you and me, but also the other coachees who are moms. I'm not a mother, but who know and understand what you're having to deal with. And you kind of came up with a solution that you're going to work on for next year. Would you be able to share? Because you were talking about discussing this with all the family members, and also having them decide, okay, you know what, maybe we shouldn't be at home the whole time, but maybe we should do something else. Or could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, because I got the feeling that I am at home and people just think I am like the servant who brings coffee. And the children every day they ask me, "What are we going to do today, mommy?"
Hotel mommy.
Yeah, hotel mommy. And then I think, well, I don't know what you are going to do, but I am going to work, so bye. But well, it doesn't work that way, obviously. No. But next time, because there are quite a few school holidays per year, I think.
Yes.
Like
four or five. Yes.
I think 5, and a lot of studiedagen and days off. That I want to be more assertive for myself, and also I want to involve the rest of the family, because they all think they don't know what I'm doing.
Involve them in your business.
In my business.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's such a lovely solution.
For example, I'm now. We were also talking about the sales challenge.
Yes, we will talk about that later a little bit. Yes,
I'm sharing the results now
I
every
love
time
it.
with my boyfriend.
Yes.
So that sometimes I don't feel taken seriously. And because I have quite some ambitions, but I have to share them with my household. I think because otherwise they don't know what I'm doing and what I'm working towards.
I think that's such great advice for everyone listening. So involve your family, whatever situation you're in. So even if you're really young and you want to start your business, involve your parents or your best friends, or if you're in a family, involve your family. And I was just thinking, have you ever seen Selling Sunset, the TV series? It's a little bit. It's an interesting series about real estate, and it's a broker's office, and they have a big bell in their office, and they ring the bell once they've made a sale. And I think, that's such a nice.
I need such a bell.
You could maybe something else that you could do. But what I also was thinking, what could be so interesting also for your children is to see, they also can really learn from you and be inspired. And you're helping people actually by sharing that. I love that.
Yeah. Maybe I should share some more.
Yeah. Yes, because it's so interesting what you're doing, and also what you're going through right now, because there is really a transformation happening.
Yeah.
In fact, where you're putting your business also really a little bit more on the first place. At some points in the week that you're saying, no, right now is my business day. Sometimes you also have Paulien days. So
let's not forget those. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you for sharing this, because I think this will help a lot of probably mostly women decide.
One side note, I must say that my children are now 9 and 12 years old.
Yes.
So they're able to be involved and to think with me, and how can we make this a nice time for everyone during the summer holidays, and also let me work sometimes.
Yeah.
And I know if your children are younger, it's a different situation. Then you need to take care of them, and it's harder.
So something to look forward to then.
Yeah, it gets better. It gets easier.
Final subject that I wanted to touch on is the sales challenge.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to give a little bit of context for everyone listening. So we're running the Mastermind. It was the final week of the Mastermind, which ended last week. And I wanted to host a sales challenge with you as my coachees to kind of earn your investment back. And, if it was the previous investment of the Mastermind or the upcoming investment, that's really totally up to you how you want to frame it. And then, we worked out some plans, or you shared your plans, and I gave some feedback, and everybody else was giving feedback. And you managed to get the first target at least, and maybe you're going towards the next target right now. Could you talk to us about what you did to manage to reach your targets?
Well, I thought I obviously, of course, I was a bit scared again for the word sales challenge, but I thought,
what scares you?
Because I think, well, sales challenge. This is not for you, Paulien. You cannot. It sounds like hard selling.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I approached it like this. I thought, okay, where can I make money the easiest? Which opportunities am I neglecting? And I just basically, very simple, went through my inbox, my email inbox. It was like last couple of weeks of summer holiday. And before summer, I had a lot of photography and video work, but also some people who were interested in working with me. I already was in contact with them. Some even from like March or February. And I thought, well, maybe I can ask them
how they're doing.
How they're doing. What is, if they're having a nice summer? What the status is of this photography assignment, or not even assignment, but they just wanted to know the price of working with me. So I just basically contacted people in my network.
That's it.
Yeah. And one after the other
said yes. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And that's so inspiring, because I was sharing this also on Instagram, that sales is not glamorous at all. You just have to go through your inbox or go through your lead tracker if you have one. Your lead tracker is a list of clients that you've worked with, or with people that you know that might be interested in working with you because you had a conversation about that. But just contact them. And, you hear so many business coaches say the fortune is in the follow-up.
True.
And it really is. Yes. And I'm so happy for you. So you met your first target.
Yeah.
I think it was in 4 days.
True. Yeah.
And there was a weekend in between. So I think that's so amazing. So this is also because we didn't really speak a lot about mindset. But you are really very much keen on mindset work.
Yeah, I personally do a lot of mindset work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could you maybe share what kind of mindset is it? Is that just journaling, what we speak about a lot, or maybe there's other things that you're doing?
I think mostly journaling. I journal almost. I start every day with journaling. And also during my work, and especially now during the pivot to coaching, I just, there are some like mindset, like blockage, and also limiting beliefs I see now, I encounter that are just stopping me from being who I really am.
Yeah.
So I know I have been journaling now almost every day since 2015.
I think it's incredible. Wow.
But I do it because I know it helps me so
Yes.
much. So yeah, I can recommend it to anyone.
Yeah. That's so lovely. So every morning you're sitting down, writing down your thoughts or goals or
Yeah.
yeah. So a journaling exercise that really has helped me are writing down what I'm grateful for. So that was really a great game changer for me, because I was journaling a little bit, but I mean, I'm not too proud of that. But once I started to realize, you know what, I have already so much to be grateful for. And then actually from that position, receive instead of chase. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That has been such a shift. I think I started with this in March or April, and it has completely changed
So
the
recently.
mindset. Yes. Yeah. Yes, because I was thinking that I was doing so great at journaling, but most of it was just goal setting. And that's
Also important.
It is important, but to me the gratitude exercise has really completely flipped everything.
But what also helps me a lot is to write down, how do I want to show up today, and
So
especially for my
important.
clients.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many more questions that I want to ask, but we spoke about this and that we wanted to keep it a little bit short and sweet. And also there's people waiting to get in. I switched off my bell, my doorbell actually, because I was afraid maybe someone is waiting outside.
Could be.
Thank you so much, Paulien, for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
What did you think of the interview?
It was much more easy than I thought. I loved it.
It is, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to do this another time, I hope.
Great.
Yes.
I hope so too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let me just give you an outro right here. Thank you so much for listening to this lovely interview with Paulien Kluver. I really enjoyed this myself, and I hope you did too. We've spoken about so many things, about actually really choosing a creative profession and taking that leap into running your business and to what's needed to run your business. And we spoke also about, at any age that you can still pivot your business again. For instance, in Paulien's case, from photographer to coach. And I think she's doing absolutely great. And then we also spoke about, dividing the tasks in the household, involving the people in the household in your business, and also make them really be a part of that. I think that was such a great takeaway. And also that a sales challenge, even though it can sound very daunting, can be such a great advantage in your business, because that's really what it's about. You need clients, you need money, and else you don't have a business. So it's really that plain and simple. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I am currently, so the mastermind that we spoke about is currently in the early bird stage, and the doors will close on Tuesday. And I'm having a special bonus for you that I'm talking about the launch of the first mastermind. You've also followed that training. I'm being very, very open about all the numbers.
It's really valuable. Yeah.
All the numbers
Insightful.
and mindset. And I'm a little bit afraid to share it, and I'm probably never going to share it again. But if you're curious to that and the real and raw and everything, you are very welcome to join me in the early bird sale right now, and doors close on September 28th. You will be joining us next Mastermind, Paulien?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So we're going to work until the end of December. December 20th, we're having a graduation, maybe a Christmas graduation.
Oh, that will be nice.
We'll have to see what we're going to do, depending on how large the group is going to be. But maybe it's going to be here around the Christmas tree and sharing our wins and transformations. Thank you once again, Paulien, for joining me here. And thank you so much for listening.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.